G'day peeps, it's been a minute and welcome to the Sunday session. Yes, I know the green screen's floppy and all that sort of crap. It's not for this type of video, but I can't be stuffed taking it off because I'm just feeling lazy at the moment. So tell me what you think. Do you like microphone down or do you want the microphone up? And I'll accept your opinions. And today, Muzz might get along. He's driving, but he said he'd try and get on. So we'll see how that goes. When the notification pops up on his phone, he will be here. So the idea of today is if you're not changing, you're choosing. And something that I made a massive realization on just recently is, the benefits of online stuff. Just getting all the adding Murray as we're going. It's of location freedom, and with my young fella going to what is known as Scotch Global, and I'll promote them in this video because I'm all for that system. But what I realised on the drive is going, hang on, anywhere where we find an internet connection, he can now go to school, middle school, high school, whatever you want to call it. And all his classes are on that laptop and iPad. So whether we're going fishing for the weekend and we can be down there hours earlier and, right, fishing's good this weekend, we can go fishing. How you going, Muzz?
Good, mate. Yourself? How are you travelling?
Mate, fantastic. I was just telling the peoples, I've just had a realisation about my son going to Scotch Global, right? So his school is now on a laptop.
Yes.
Right? And we can be anywhere for him to go to school, which is like a huge bonus. So, and I was just thinking the other day, and I said to him on the way, and I said, do you know, if the fishing's right, we can duck down to Hopetown, and we can be waiting there to go fishing. You can log in at school in the morning, and then we're going fishing. Not having to wait for the school bus to get home, and then plan the trip down there and miss that couple of hours. And then if we feel like it, like I've got this other thing in Perth tomorrow, so we're off to Perth this afternoon, so he can log in from Grandma's house. And he's still at school. And I just thought, how wonderful is his life going to be this year? So he's location free. And that, in a sense, is why we started part of this business, is because this business that we're running is location free. You're doing it from the side of the road. I'm doing it from the farm office. Sometimes I do it from the middle of the city. And it's just like that, Scotty's somewhere in the middle of Queensland doing his version of the business. There's people in Bali doing it. There's people all across the world, Canada, all through the US. They're all doing it their way. Same business, same teachings, same platform, and we're all doing it. And it's that easy to learn. And for him, high school, he met kids from Sydney that have come over to do that same online schooling. And there's kids from different country towns. There's station kids. And we all went there for a camp last week. That's why I'm so excited about it, because we actually, all us parents got together, had a bit of a chin wag and stuff like that. So all us parents know each other. We're in there's another group chat we all started. So we've got a school group chat, and footy club group chats, and fighter group chats, and online group chats, and this group chat. So I'm just networked through the moon, And that's the amazing thing that I knew he was doing it, and I thought that's the amazing thing that I've only just come to realization this week. Is like he's just winning. Like it's just, you tell me how. I do want him to go to boarding school. Just disclaimer right at the start. Disclaimer right at the start. This is all personal opinion. None of this is advice in life and all that stuff that I see that people doing disclaimers on YouTube videos and stuff. Hence the green screen and the microphone and all that sort of stuff. So part of me changing the dynamic of the content, which according to the Wednesday Wisdom, my post this week is, and again we've crossed this path, if you're not changing, you're choosing, because they've actually got that as a quote in the boarding house. Things that don't change you, things that don't challenge you don't change you. so that they're there to challenge you. And I thought there's so much inspiration within the world, and then these kids have so much freedom within this totalitarian dictatorship of a world that we live in. So that's my life in a nutshell for the past week. How you going, Muzz? It's been a few weeks. Did you glitch out? Driving up the road, run out of reception, possibly. That is sometimes the way it happens. How you going, Muzz? You're there now. I can see you. You half come through. You might have to find a top of a hill and pull up, mate. This might work better if you're on top of a hill. I'm half hearing you, Muzz. I'm not sure if there's a car kit playing up. You find the top of the hill and then speak up when you get to a good point of reception, Muzz, and you might come through clearer because it's a bit fuzzy and you're cutting in and out. So we'll try again there. But meanwhile, I'm multitasking. I said to Workman, he come out today and he said, remind me to pay him before I go to Perth and I don't have the laptop with me. Because that's part of the technological barriers that I force into the situation. If you're all in one spot, and this, we'll talk about online safety for a brief second, is that if you're all in one spot and all your passwords are in one spot, you are vulnerable to a certain essence. So I've got some logins are on that computer, some logins are on this computer. They've all got two-factor authentication. Even all my social medias all have passwords and facial IDs and two-factor authentication set up with your Google Authenticator thing, and that's sort of online safety, which is part of what they do with the online school system that the young fellas part of. Is they've got their student ID, they've got their login, and then all the programs are on the computer through a clouded system. They post all their stuff through the clouded system. And then we as parents even have a app on the phone. So we're able to download an app. So rather than me having to email a teacher and go, how's it going? I can see on this thing that he's done 10% of this subject or 20% of this subject, or he got 70% in his test, because it's all available in this network of education that they've got, which is similar to when I log into my profile in the Freedom Era and I go, all right, where am I up to? And I've done 100% of ads training. I've done 100% of Instagram training. And then maybe the ads training round 2 or 3, I've done 20% of, and I should go back and do that and continue on that and learn more. So the same sort of system is within the Scotch Global profile. So you're getting a bit smoother in the image there, Muzz. You're at the top of the hill. Nearly.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Nearly. It's a pretty good spot. I should have said I should put up it earlier, but I'll just get down the road a bit more.
Yep. That is what it is. Just gonna keep drafting up the payroll while I'm doing it, but so it's interesting about, and I'd love to hear other people's perspective on what is your definition of location freedom. Like, do you have that freedom? I can technically run the farm from Hopetown or Perth or whatever, because we've got staff members training up, and I don't necessarily need to be here for everything, just some things. So am I training people so then I become unnecessary? And does that give me location freedom? Would other people like that in their business? Imagine, and I've thought about it, because the farm's changed the dynamic and all that sort of fun stuff. I've talked about going trucking to earn a bit more cash flow off farm. And then it's like, why do I have to be driving the water truck for all the time for the Shire? I can be spraying, and maybe I can get a truck driver to drive my water truck for the Shire, and then I'm not in that place and I'm in this place. And then if I'm not here spraying, and maybe the young fella and I love that. Set up notifications on my phone that people are giving me money. I love that. Don't you guys love that? Notifications on your phone. Someone paid you. Yeah, love it.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're in a good spot there, Muzz.
Yeah, I'm just going to pull up a bit further up because I was taking a chance to look at a place for sale there. You know, one of my dream places that should be on a vision board if I ever make one.
You should.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll try this little posse. Oh, of course, it's someone's driveway. Just in and out. There we go. There's what I was after. Am I still coming through clear here, Stuart?
Yes, mate. Yep.
Righto. Just capping on what you're saying there, Stuart, like, you know, getting everyone set up so you don't have to be on site. I know that there's a specific way to say that and answer it, and no doubt you've got the answer, but it's not about making you redundant. It's just making it so that you're not the key piece. You don't have to be the integral piece of the operation. And that's where a lot of this online stuff is amazing. Like, now my phone's blowing up. Not with money notifications, so sadly. But it's for ease of management, and so you can actually have a bloody life. That's what this is all supposed to be about. And like what you're saying before about you and Jack cruising around, he's on, you know, while he's going to go fishing or go to a camp, he can be on the computer, bloody doing his schoolwork, and you're still getting that done. But instead of having to catch the school bus home, you guys can go fishing, or be at grandma's or whatever, like, you know. So I'm back at uni now myself, and so I've been away here, there, and everywhere, man. And sometimes it feels like a bit of a headache, but it's a mindset. And what I was trying to say before is that I think it's great that Jack's doing this stuff now, because learning to integrate this sort of learning management into his lifestyle now. I mean, you know, we can't get away from digital technology. But what's there, let's make the most of it, so we can learn how to still have a life and work around it all together to benefit us without losing out on, I keep saying it, but to have a life.
Yeah, yeah. And you're right. And probably the other thing that just occurred to me is the access to the information that he's got. So I didn't realise how cutting edge, I'll say, this online school is. So
yeah,
it's not just maths, science, English, and I used to call it social studies, but they call it HAS now. Tell me you're from the 80s and 90s without telling me you're from the 80s and 90s. But so other extracurricular subjects that he's doing is, apart from 3D printing, is he can do robotics.
That's cool.
As a year 7 student, he is exposed to AI, 3D printers, and mechatronics/robotics, and the exposure to this technology puts him in a unique position. And like, if I wanted to get a job out of high school, I couldn't go to an engineering firm. Oh, I've been dealing with little robots building stuff for 5-6 years now. And they go, oh, really? So you can do this? Yeah, I can use that 3D scanner and update this, and we can make that gear. We even talked about it at school. I said, imagine that cog that I had to wait 3 months for from Sweden, imagine if I scanned a cog that I had here and then applied a tape shaft profile to that and printed that. Wouldn't be out of plastic, it'd be a metal printer. They do exist, right?
Yeah.
So your CNC lathes that you need half a degree for to operate, he's already training in that sort of programs and technology. So he's gonna do a couple of years of school. I probably won't need the parts guy.
No.
I'll just go, hey Jack, I broke this. Can you print it? You give us the old bit. Scan, 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 print. A couple of hours to a day later, done. There you go. It's like, he is going to be exposed to such, and they're willing at schools talking to the teachers and stuff. They tailor the subject to each student. So maths is not just maths. If you're going to be super smart, Muzz, and you're going to do more maths than me, they will just give you an extra module here, drip feed you more and more to progress as you progress through the 100% of that thing, and you'll go as far as you can go.
Yeah.
Where if I'm going to sit here and struggle maybe back here, they also pay attention to that and help me with that whilst teaching you. So it's, you know, the skill of the teacher to be able to adapt to 20 different versions of a maths lesson with a base idea, and then to go, okay, these kids get it easy. We can give them +1, and they can learn. So to help a kid thrive, which is actually what the extracurricular subject in Scotch Global is called Thrive. So, you know, to be able to get kids excited about learning. You know, one of the kids said on camp was like, what's the point in going to school? Like, do we really need to learn? And one of the teachers said, oh, it could be handy to know some stuff. You know, what do you want to do later? What if you don't know how to do it? You have to learn it. So not everything's on YouTube, by the way, as much as people try and go, I'll just find it on YouTube. You could find people on YouTube that would tell you how to start an online business, right? It is out there. But you could go to that proven script with variations, like in the Freedom Mirror, and using the Enagic products we've got here. We've got a business, we've got a product, we've got a system that is adaptable to each individual person in the world to do it their way, and being authentic content. Me sitting in front of a green screen that's floppy in front of my vision board with this stupid microphone, you know, looking like a YouTuber, as part of my adaptation to the scenario. And you know, we've all done lives from the edge of the road. You're tuning in right now from the edge of the road, Muzz. So, you know, location free and fancy.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's just a wonderful world that is probably been reawakened in my brain structure, is to go look at the technology of today and what I've been trying to do for the past couple of years, and suddenly it's just landed in our lap through a series of fortunate events that life that I want to create is not bound by the next 6 years of high school. Yeah. We can now have that now, you know, and part of that instant gratification that so many people in the world look for. What if you could have that now? You know, play that game to go, you know, you're back at uni, Muzz. So is that physical uni and you've got to take modules home, or do you log in online, or how does that work for you?
Yeah. So this is all online, and this is the thing. And like you said, feeding into that thing of having technology at our disposal and making the most of it. Look, as you say, 6, 12 years of school gives you the basics, the foundation of should do. There's some things that I personally believe it still misses out on, but we won't go into that right now. But the thing is that now, as adults, especially now, I'm 36 this year. I've now got that extra life experience since 20 years next year since I left school. where now I can go, hey, I want to learn this, and off my previous experience go, righto, I now want to do this. Whereas, when I was at school, I had no interest in TAFE or uni. I was just going to get at the station, that's that. But it's not just like for me. There's a lady who is, I think she's approaching 60, who's in the same course as I am at the moment. She's going for an arts degree, which is fantastic. But again, it just goes to show that there is this, it's not like it was never, the opportunities weren't available to us.
But now there's less of a boundary.
Sorry?
There's less of a boundary now.
There's less of a boundary. The accessibility, which is something you say quite often, is there. We can side of the road, Timbuktu, buddy, back and beyond the black stump there. As long as you've got a Wi-Fi connection, there's not much you can't access. It's super cool. And I saw something this morning that made me sort of a bit of a quiet chuckle to myself, thinking about the ease of technology and stuff. There are some people who take it for granted, who, we've got all the stuff within our fingertips, but it kind of makes them lazy. And that's not everybody, though. I'd like to think the likes of yourself and me and the people who are watching us know how to use the tools that are at their disposal to push forward. And whether that's something as simple as an electric drill, a post hole digger on the back of your tractor, to a motorised grader, to using this thing that we're all watching each other from right now. All these tools can be used to benefit us.
In the right way.
In the right way.
Because that's where, and it's something that, speaking to the boarding house, because it was an interesting concept for me to stay in a boarding house again, brought back all the childhood trauma from the old days. And because it was funny, that sort of came up. I dropped the word as us parents are talking, and I said something like, hi, my name's Stuart and I'm an alcoholic. Oh, sorry, wrong meeting. So that's the joke to break the ice. They go, that's funny. And then I made a comment, it's like, hi, I'm a bad parent. I medicate my child to sleep. And they go, oh, hang on, no. There's no judgment here. You're in a safe zone here, because we all do some form of that, because there's a lot of neurodivergent children of varying situations in this class, which is why this system was created. And it's like, but on the flip side, when they go to boarding, they've got a cabinet at night that they lock all the computers and phones and smartwatches up, so the kids are detoxed. There is a time of night at boarding house where there is no phones, no nothing. That's it. They shut them down, and it's like, so tomorrow morning you can pick it up, but tonight, so there's no, like us adults can do, you can lie in bed and doom scroll and get a trap, and you get that blue light feeding your brain and all that sort of stuff.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. It's like, we all do it occasionally, but for them to, those tools that we have for all that information, and then to be able to start a pattern of being able to put it away, so they'll help program, for lack of a better description, these kids into good habits.
Yeah.
Unlike other kids that I know, because I got other kids, and I guarantee they're on their phone at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock. There you go. One of my children requires headphones, or what they call ASMR music, to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I've called bull. I refuse to have it in my house. I'll actually, as far as I go, I'm that dad. I'll even go and flick the power switch off in my house if it's bedtime to stop you. I can live without it, and so can you. So I will force it. Maybe that's why some of my kids get a bit grumpy at me, because I'm that dad.
But I mean, sure. This, as you say, that's a very good point, and it's this is where that particular problem is what I have with technology, and because I know that I have that problem, I worry about the kids later on, like you're saying, that it's habit. And walking around in the city yesterday, and nearly having, I don't know, half a dozen to a dozen people walk into me nearly because they're face down. In the meantime, there's a celebration. There's a couple of Chinese dragons getting around, for Chinese New Year, and that was wicked. Of course, with the phone out, take a video, and stored it to show the folks when I get home. And no, all these people straight away texting each other, bloody. Digressing a little bit here, major segue. But getting back to what you're saying, it's. I think that's really good. That enforcing that. Well, it is. It's a little bit of enforcement of good behaviour.
Of discipline, yeah.
Of discipline. Thank you. Because you don't bloody need it. It's only in the last. Well, for me, I reckon it's probably been. I've had 24-hour power, access to 24-hour power a bit more reliably in the last 5 years. So I reckon it's worse for me. But I mean, think all doom scrolling stuff's probably been a problem for 10 years or so. How many millennia have humans been around for and haven't needed a phone to go to sleep with at night?
Yeah. Or like Jack, kids are talking about, like, how did you do it at school when you wanted to find stuff, Dad? Like, you had to go to the library and get an encyclopedia out and actually research the subject. Yeah. That was how we did it. There was no internet, although the internet was created about the time I was at high school and we got to access chat rooms and stuff. But Google and all these new things, like the rapid pace of technology in the last decade is phenomenal as far as the information and the speed of information that we can get, which is effectively what AI is just a hyper speed information gatherer. Yeah, that's a different subject. How much of AI is AI, or is it just a really, really fast algorithm?
And you're so right. I mean, like everyone knows, I make no secret of my distrust of AI. But you're so right that there's a difference in types of AI. There's the stuff that's labelled AI that's just, as you said, I think it was last week or the week before where you said that it's a super fast algorithm. But there's stuff where, it grows.
Yeah.
And it's, anyway.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's the knowledge base. It's like teaching a child, for lack of a better description. The more information you give it, the more it will learn.
Absolutely.
So, what Jack has access to is a world, he could be Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Full Iron Man stuff. It's not an impossibility, right? With a little bit of thought and a little bit of planning, it's not an impossibility.
Yeah.
And I would time and money. I would Tony Stark the shit out of this house.
I can picture it.
I would walk in and go, "Hello, Jarvis. What's happening today?" "Oh, hello, sir. The markets are good. All your sheep have been drinking water. This bloke's got the servicing ready. We're up to this stage in the farming plan. The fishing is not good this week, but maybe a couple of days it might be better. All right, just a 5-minute report. Done. Sweet. What are my options for breakfast? All right, we've got your iced coffee's cold in the fridge. The eggs and bacon is ready, but there's cereal there if you like it, or we can have some raisin toast. All right, sweet. Thanks, Jarvis. We're low on this. Can you add that to the shopping list?" Bang, done. "Yes, sir." Get to town, pick up the phone. Well, I'd probably be one of those goobers with the Tony Stark glasses. Spider-Man into the universe or metaverse or whatever, get the glasses. Yep, shopping list, right, cart, away we go. Sensational. That's a dream. And there's nothing wrong with dreaming big. Some other reel I gathered across the other day, this little reel someone made, they go, I was this kid and I had this great imagination, and like, where's my imagination gone as an adult? And then the camera turns around, it's him wearing a different costume, and he goes, you haven't lost your imagination, you just changed it. And it's like, so what do you mean? So your imagination as a kid was like, could I build this house into Iron Man and whatever, and have all this cool stuff? But now as an adult, you go, oh no, we're going to turn that into anxiety and worry. So I need to pay for that. How am I going to pay for that? You can think of the 10 reasons really quickly, but that's your imagination, adults. That is, you haven't lost your imagination. You've just turned it into worry and anxiety. So you can reprogram that to dream build and go, imagine what the McLaren 720 is going to look like when I back out of the shed that's put there. And then if I'm going to have that sort of car, maybe I'll bitumize the driveway. So we're going to do that. And if we're going to bitumize the driveway, we'll shift that fence over there. Because I'm feeling fancy, you might have little solar panel lights on all the fence posts. So I've got like this runway, so it feels like an aeroplane. And
absolutely.
So there we go down a path of what can we build? What is the limitation? And would people, driving the truck, went and got a load of hay this morning, or got a load of hay yesterday, had the beauty double flat scenario on one axle when both tires go down, and you just got to deal with that, right? So that was yesterday afternoon at 5 o'clock, and it's like, I just left the hay shed. It's like, oh well. So that was finished, dealt with today. Solution, not a major problem, just an inconvenience. But as I'm driving the truck, it's like, play the game what if. Maybe that's the homework for everyone in the farm fence this week, and everyone who sees this video on YouTube, which I will post on YouTube in about 30 minutes. So there you go, YouTube, make it work. Homework for this week is to write down 7 dreams, 7 what ifs. I want to see yours next week, Muzz. Right? 7 what ifs. Doesn't matter how crazy. What if this car was pink with purple polka dots? It is a relevant thought process. But positive type dreams. What if I could do this better? What if my computer screen was bigger? Why can't I have a bigger computer screen now? What is actually stopping me? We had that conversation. Jack goes, you're due for a new computer, aren't you? I said, yeah. He goes, what about that one? I said, that's not what I want. I want the 3-screen wraparound thing that's about 1.5 meters big on my desk, just a bit further away than normal. And I wanted, as age goes, I want the writing a bit bigger, but I want to be able to keep up with my brain, because I can have 19 tabs open on the laptop and switch between the two, and it's not keeping up. Go scrolling on the doom scrolling on the phone whilst doing accounting bookwork on the laptop, and something else is open, and then we're going to post it to YouTube, and it's all just going on, and I'm faster than the computer. But if I can have a newer computer that's faster with more screens, and then I can get more done. I can see the cameras out there. I can have the EIDs, because you all got to have your sheep EID'd now. Hashtag keep the sheep. Make sure they got the electronic tags. Don't forget, you can cheat the system. This is my little life hack. They all go to a water point, right? Put an RFID loop on the water point and a gate. Then all your sheep are going to walk through, and cattle guys have been doing this forever, right? It's not a new concept, but you can count your sheep every day by what's had a drink of water. And then you can train an AI algorithm to run a spreadsheet to go, this sheep hasn't had a drink of water for 2 days. Where is it? Is it? So then you can go, maybe I've got a weak one, or something like that. There's the amount of things you can do with technology, and a simple system like that.
Absolutely.
What if your drafting race you just built for your cows, Muzz, was air operated and electronically operated, and the cows, like in a dairy, so dairies quite often use automation because cows bring themselves in for milking. So ease of use for the cow, you just have an automatic system, and the cows do it themselves, and it's you just sort of guide them in once a day. Sometimes the cows come in on their own. They go, I'm ready. I want to go now. Done.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it's easy on the cow, and it's easy, and you know, enjoy your milk because that's where it comes from.
Absolutely. It's all part of the process. Sorry, Stuart, I'm going to bolt only because I need to get going.
Frog and toad it.
And frog and toad it.
Yep.
And if you're happy for me to, I'll just keep listening to you while you're yakking, but I'll just be in and out of range a bit, so I'm going to go fuzzy. Is that all right with you, or should I just leave?
Mate, fuzzy muzzy.
Fuzzy muzzy.
Mate, continue on your journey, and we'll keep having a discussion, and we'll see how that goes. So I'll keep ranting on, but maybe we're getting close to that time in the video when we can call it a day. I think we've broached a lot of subjects about technology and the speed of things. And like I said, the homework is do 7 dreams, write it in a book, and then review it at the end of the week. Maybe I'll do that this week, and I'll bring my 7 what ifs, my dreams, to the next week's Sunday session, and we can call it dream building next week. And then we can go through the logic, because there's no reason why you can't. That is the probably the message that I'm trying to get through to the people, is there's no actual reason why you can't have what you want. There are steps to get more money. There are steps to create something. You can dream a dream of a million things. Elon Musk is going to Mars. Don't argue with him. He's going there. Why is his reasons, right? Jack might be the first farmer on Mars. I might be the first farmer on Mars. Or I wonder who would be the first car thief on Mars, because he does have a Tesla floating in orbit of Mars. So
Really?
That was the first thing he chucked at Mars. So before you start chucking people, you chuck a few objects. So this is how smart people can be, right? He did the calculating timing, because you know Mars, every 2 years you get 2 months to chuck stuff at Mars, otherwise you're out of rotational thing and it's too far, right? So they plan and they work out how much stuff can we chuck at Mars, and then, all right, we've done our 2 months now the range is getting out of it, because if you get the calculation wrong, like, you can get there quick, but if you miss, you're at Jupiter or Neptune or somewhere further out. You know, that's the risk. So the mathematics says you throw a rock this hard and then it goes out, you know, like doing a lap of the moon, chuck a spaceship at the moon, do a lap, use the gravitational orbit to come back. For them to chuck a car at Mars to then do a lap of the planet and not lose orbital rotation is a mathematical calculation. So that's quite, so there's no reason why he can't chuck a quad track. So apart from the weight, it's just maths. It's just maths and money, right? So for you to have that better truck to go driving down the road to cart your hay or cart your grain to the bin, whatever you want. You want some new bins? Do you want the drop bins? I personally myself want some tornado bins. I like the belly dumper type scenario. It's just the thing. Just it's something that I like. You can like your tippers. You can like your bins built by this company. You can like whatever you like. That's fine. I don't care if your tractor's red, yellow, or blue, or green, like this green screen. So, you know, that it's your job to make something better, to dream. Yeah, and that's the task for this week, is the dream on how to make it better. And the steps are what they are. And what if we discuss those steps next week? Could it be you need to start an extra business, which is something that I'm looking at tomorrow, is due to farm resizing, I need to create more cash flow. So there's not only this business, there's another business, and there's another business. And I understand where my son gets his squirrel ADHD brain from, because I have developed that sort of ability as well myself. So to have another system that I can create more cash flow to get more of what I want is what I'm doing. So if you want to know more, you have to thank all the farms that grow all the food, and keep all the sheep. And thank all the truckies that transport all that food and sheep and goods and stuff, because they've got to your place to come in a truck, thanks to you guys. And thank all the war veterans that fought for your sense of freedom that you have right now. And if you want to know what real freedom is, get location freedom, get your kids an online school, do an online school yourself, and then live life to absolute the best. Then you too can, if you feel like the need, you want to look like a YouTuber and get a green screen and a microphone, you can do that too. I'll tell you where I got mine from, and I didn't spend as much as you think. But anyway, I think that's enough of a video for us today. And there's some massive points in there that Muzz and I have dropped while he's driving down the road. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out. Have a good one, people.